The draft of the Data Protection Bill, which was in the making for about last 5 years and was withdrawn from Parliament in August last year, is likely to be tabled in the upcoming monsoon session of Parliament. The fresh bill reportedly offers companies a chance to voluntarily disclose data breach and also does away with the criminal provision for it, which was there in the previous draft. But it also empowers the Data Protection Board to impose a penalty of up to 250 crore rupees on organizations for failing to take safeguards to prevent personal data breaches. The bill is being tabled at a time when India is facing an increased number of cyber attacks and data breaches. A recent report by Checkpoint claims that average weekly attacks in India rose by around 18% between January and March 2023 when compared to the same time period in 2022. In an ecosystem where artificial intelligence is rapidly evolving and ChatGPT is scraping data from social media platforms to test its models, the bill has assumed and added urgency. The bill outlines practices for entities that collect personal data, how that data should be stored and processed to ensure there is no breach, as well as rights of the persons whose data is being used. The bill also requires platforms to obtain verifiable parental consent in such manner as may be prescribed before processing any personal data of a child, any user below the age of 18. The final version of the bill is likely to keep the age of parental consent unchanged, notwithstanding multiple companies demanding to reduce it to 16 years. However, as per the latest draft, courts and law enforcement agencies enjoy wide exemptions from key requirements as the bill's requirements do not apply when personal data is processed in the interest of prevention, detection, investigation or prosecution of any offence or contravention of any law, or the processing of personal data by any court or tribunal or any other body in India is necessary for the performance of any judicial or quasi-judicial function. Right to information activists have raised concerns on an amendment to the RTI Act 2005 in the bill that would prohibit government departments from sharing personal information, arguing government departments may refuse to share information that could hold public office holders accountable.
So yes, it is true that the government agencies enjoy wide exceptions, and frankly, it does dent the overall effect of the bill because ultimately, the right to privacy is not just against private corporations. Some of the major cases that happened in relation to data leaks or violation of privacy, where data had been held by the government, where the government or government agency had been the controllers of that data.
Does the bill then have enough to protect individuals' fundamental right to data privacy?
It's too little, too late. The bill talks about a lot of requirements for data controllers. And in that sense, as far as the details of the security practices and procedures that these organizations need to follow, while broadly the government talks about them, but the intricacies and the details of these have not been provided in the bill itself.
Experts also point out that there are major gaps and blind spots in the bill in its current draft.
There are various issues with this, bill in its current form. One, of course, that it has created a very vague provision for deemed consent, and that includes giving powers to the government and the government agencies to be able to deal with the private data of individuals in the manner that they want to without taking any express consent. Additionally, I feel that in terms of, creating the whole distinction between sensitive and non-sensitive data, that is not something that has been done. Third point that I feel is the issue of penalties. Requirements and the contours of how those penalties need to be imposed, what would be the criteria, nothing has been provided in detail. Also, if you look at the fact, the whole constitution of the Data Protection Board is a matter of suspense currently.
Experts therefore believe that while having a data protection policy framework is a major step in itself and definitely a start in the right direction, the provisions and overall structure of the bill in its current form are quite vague. They point out that the bill will need several revisions and amendments in order to provide for more concrete and precise guidelines to help protect India's data privacy.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views, and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, and LinkedIn.
He's about to land his dream job. Business Standard.